Welcome back to Overexerted, a Disney Lorcana podcast. You may be wondering, why is this guy wearing sunglasses inside? Well, that's because the future of Lorcana is so bright, baby. We got some good cards coming. With me, as always, our beautiful host, the James Dan Regal, and be our guest, Heath. How are you guys? Long time no see.
It's been a little bit.
It has.
We've been traversing the world. Well, one of us has.
We took a big hiatus.
Yeah, like what? 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks,
something like that. There's quite a few people in the Discord there saying, "When are you guys coming back? When's the episode? Where's the episode?" A lot of the early longtime fans just losing their minds because we just haven't been able to put out the same level of beautiful content, or any for that matter.
He's losing his mind.
We could just claim that all energy went to my reveal video.
Yeah, it was
for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that all of us contributed about how much time to doing it?
60 seconds?
Right, 60 to 90 seconds for Heath. I saw 3 takes or so for Benny, so he probably did the same 60 to 90 seconds. I think I recorded for a total, including all those outtakes, I think I recorded for a total of somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes, including when I was sitting here talking. And then Beth did like 5 hours of work.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Beth definitely put in the most amount of work. I had put on the mashed potatoes that I had to make for Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving. For all you Americans going, it's not Thanksgiving. Who is this guy?
Canada.
Is that the fake one?
Huh?
Fake Thanksgiving?
The fake Thanksgiving? Get out of here.
So yeah, I had put on the potatoes, and then I went and hiked up a mountain while the potatoes were on low heat. Hiked up the mountain with the dog, shot the 3 videos, and then hiked back down the mountain so that I could mash the potatoes before going to family dinner.
Yeah. So if you watch the video, which I would appreciate if you did, there's like I said, these guys
in the show description.
These guys did a lot of work for it. I know it sounds like we didn't do much work, but I mean, Heath was on the other side of the world and he took the time to do it.
The most expensive card reveal ever.
Right. I spent, where did it go? Where's my thing? Where is that? Oh, it's right. It's hanging up right there. This thing right here. That's blocked by the logo. This right here. I spent $5 on this.
You didn't have a square at home?
I didn't. No.
The square.
I spent $5 on this.
James is revealing he is not a particularly handy person if he didn't own a square prior.
Did you know that most carpenter squares these days are triangles?
Yes, I know that one too.
I had to search for this. Anyway, I spent $5 on this, and that was actually all of the money that any of us spent on this directly. But if you count ancillary expenses for locations, then I think the video costs north of $4, $5, $10, $80. Let's say $80,000.
Well, I was going to say the published price on my cruise was somewhere around like $25,000. So
there you go, $25,000, a $25,000 release video.
Flights and all that. Let's say 30. Let's round it up to 30.
Sure, 30. Why not?
That tool that you have in your hand.
Just to be clear, I did not spend $25,000 on the cruise. I don't have $25,000.
Yeah, that tool is it's pretty hip.
Hip to be square.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice. So it's out now. But why you guys were doing this when you were looking at the map, and why I went and spent $5 on this. There is some kind of mystery happening. If you go look in the official Discord, people are trying to figure it out, and there are articles with bolded letters, and there are pictures with letters like barely in them from the Lorecast, and there are content creators who subtly put in a letter into their videos and
or rush themselves and put it in or the wrong way.
But for the record, I don't have a clue what's going on. I was
I see
asked
what you're doing there, Benny.
I was asked to put an L in, and that was it. That's all I know.
Okay.
So don't come to me asking me questions because I don't know a thing.
James knows. Break him.
All right.
Do we want to say what letters have been found so far, or should
Yeah,
we
go-
leave?
And it's in the
mystery?
Discord.
Go to the official Discord. Someone's tracking them. There's a Lorebot tracker now for them.
I know
People are
Rebecca's big on that.
Yeah. If you go, actually, I will give you a hint that they figured out today, which I didn't know until someone pointed it out. If you go into the Card Reveals channel on the official Discord and look at the list of all of the content creators that have reveals, if their name is bold, they're going to have a secret letter in their video or reveal in some way. If they're just normal, they will not. So that's how you can go find them. So it's going to be over the next week because card reveals, I think, end on the 22nd. All right.
Oh, we also have the in our Discord. If you go in there, if you go down to the Lorcana news, it also has it in there.
There you go. There you go. Let's real quick. The biggest news of the day that is not card reveals or my video just broke right before I left from work, and that was about the Upper Deck lawsuit. What happened? Does anybody
it's a
know?
Lower Deck lawsuit now.
Free at last.
Yeah, it has been dismissed by the judge. Apparently, the Ryan Miller lawsuit is still happening. Which when this one is dismissed, I'm pretty sure that one is going to lose a lot of steam.
Yeah.
If there was nothing to steal, then Ryan Miller really can't be accused of stealing anything.
I mean,
so
it's kind of just a big can of worms if you think about it. Like if they won that lawsuit, could then Magic the Gathering not sue every other trading card game for the exact same
exactly.
thing?
That's why they had to lose it, because the law has continually said that game mechanics are not copyrightable.
Yeah,
so,
it's kind of like
they stole flying from us. Hello.
Now the express.
It's kind of like a certain video game company saying you can't have creatures be summoned in a game. We're copywriting that. Well, Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest and all these other games are going, hey, use us. No. We've had that for ages.
Yeah.
So
The expression of those mechanics is what can be copyrighted. So the tap symbol in Magic, the actual symbol itself, can be copyrighted or whatever they do.
Yeah, if they've stolen the lore
whatever.
symbol from.
Yeah, exactly. All of those things can be, because those are creative designs that are not specifically part of the mechanic. They are just to express the mechanic. Those things can be copyrighted, but not the mechanic itself. So good job, lawyers and judges, for spending 2.5 years to decide what we all knew basically when the lawsuit came out.
Yeah.
Are you traveling with that?
Yes. My daughter insists that I take this with me wherever I go.
Aww.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
It's chicken.
Chicken.
Yep.
Is that what she named it?
Yep.
Nice.
Named it when I don't know, she was 3 or 4 or something. So
very cool.
He's just sitting there staring at me, so he had to join the video.
Next topic.
So
next topic. Bologna happened just a couple weeks ago while we were not doing anything. What do you guys think? Did you think it was a good tournament?
So I'm finally watching it now, so I should clarify that I haven't watched the whole thing, but I followed along as it was happening on Twitter and all that. I just didn't have streaming when I was on the cruise, so I couldn't watch it. So what I've seen so far, I've seen all of day 1, and I've seen about halfway through day 2. And yeah, I mean, looks like there was a good diversity of decks. Like, I know that 35% or something of the decks were Blurple, but at least in the casting, at least what they chose, I don't know if they were intentionally trying to avoid having too much Blurple on the stream.
Yeah, that's what they were doing. I know that the casters can offer suggestions or make requests. I think JDZ mentioned that on the Lorecast today, or in one of his live Twitch streams. They can make requests, but it's not necessarily what's gonna happen. But because they knew that with all of that blurple and that it is one of the top decks, they figured that when it starts getting narrowed down, there's going to be a lot of blurple in there, and so they're like, let's try and get as much other stuff in day one as possible to see all of these other decks before we get to that. And so that's why you saw a lot of that other stuff. Yeah, 683 blurple decks out of 1864 is quite a bit. My favorite stat is Emerald Ruby with 0. How is there not one Christmas deck aficionado who shows up with like, I'm going to prove you all wrong?
I mean, there's 2 guys in this current podcast that said Christmas deck is what we're playing, and I haven't even touched it. I haven't even looked at building it.
I mean, that was for last set that I said that.
I thought it was
clear.
Last set coming into this set. We said we're building Christmas because green and red looks so good.
My second set champs, I was going to do that. So, question: how many total Ruby decks roughly were there? Like, forget Amber Ruby for a second. Total like Ruby decks.
Total decks with 6? Ruby in it. Total.
Yeah.
Is
just approximately
34 exactly.
34 out of 1800 have the color ruby as one of the 2 colors.
1 ruby sapphire. 1.
How the mighty hath fallen.
There were 12 ruby steels. Ruby steel was thought to be better than ruby sapphire at this point.
Yeah.
And amethyst ruby had 19.
Yeah.
Ruby steel would be a challenge deck, I assume.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Could be. Yeah. Could have been a down. It could have been a down in New Orleans deck too.
But
wait, down in New Orleans Sapphire?
Oh, sorry,
actually,
Ruby Sapphire.
We saw one of
Ruby Sapphire.
We saw one of the Ruby Steels on stream. I remember seeing that earlier today as I was watching. So, and it was, I think, like 3-0 at the time I was watching it. It ended up losing that match, but
I think it has legs. We got a guy locally who plays it, and he either wins or comes in second most league nights.
There's a big time Ruby Steel fan who I see talking a lot in some online streams, Snake Chips, and he says that he's already top 8'd 2 set champs with a Ruby Steel deck.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's not unviable. It's just not particularly good deck.
It's not consistent enough, and it can be easily managed.
All right. So what are the big takeaways from Bologna?
The biggest surprise. Yeah. The biggest surprise.
Looks like Benny has thoughts.
Oh, Benny.
No, go ahead.
Okay. The biggest surprise was Emerald Amber, because as pointed out in the article by Frank Karsten that was posted today, it was 6% of the starting field on day 1, improved to 12% on day 2, and then was 16% of the top 32 and 25% of the top 8. Mm-hmm. So it was consistently winning more games than other decks, and that is very cool.
Yeah.
That's what my thought was, how good that deck was.
Yeah. I would say that. So I had 3 takeaways from the weekend. That was one of the 3, if not the top. Benny, what was your thoughts? Looks like you were like doing the school.
Oh, I was reaching back to scratch.
You were just scratching.
I was actually going to say, speaking of, we can ignore Heath for this, but set champs. Let's talk some set champs here.
I'm still on Bologna for a second.
We're still talking one or two more things about Bologna.
Okay.
Because yes, you can ignore me for set champs because I have not touched set champs yet.
I would like to say that the finals was very cool, very good,
Mm-hmm.
lots of good gameplay. But if you want to see how decision making really affects from an early game to the late game, go watch the final, because in definitely the last game, but in I think the last 2 games, the Amethyst Steel player made some decisions, I think, that basically cost them the game. And you can see, and I think JDRR on possibly on his Metafy, which it may be free in the free portion of his Metafy, did a review of those games and pointed out all of the points where those mistakes may have been made. And it's just a great learning experience watching top players, but people can make mistakes and seeing where those mistakes are so you can learn from them.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched the match yet, but I wouldn't even go so far as to say that's definitively mistakes, even though it led to that outcome,
Right.
which is just to say what could have been done differently to
Right.
lead to a different outcome, right? Who knows how the game plays out differently under different circumstances. But so for me, the second big takeaway was kind of Blurple being the antithesis of green yellow, of amber emerald, which is starting at 36% or whatever it was, all the way down to being one of the top 1 and 8 in the top 8
Right.
deck lists. So I thought that was kind of telling for the weekend that it might have been very popular, but it didn't actually execute particularly well.
Right. Which is what we've actually been seeing in the meta for all leading up to it, because Blurple was everywhere. It was showing up in top 8s everywhere, but it wasn't converting very often. It wasn't winning. It wasn't winning events. It was placing a lot in events, but it wasn't winning. This time it won, but it didn't place a lot.
Yeah. It reminds me very distinctly of Ruby Sapphire over the last like 5 sets, where Ruby Sapphire was always a great deck and it was very popular and it, did all right. But I think it won one DLC, right?
I think
Like
so. Yeah.
Diablo was winning all the, at least North American DLCs. Diablo was winning all the North American DLCs, and still, even up to NACC, it was still Ruby Sapphire was the most brought deck. So I think that you can have that situation where there's decks that show strong in terms of people bringing them, but don't necessarily always close. And so that's something to be mindful of.
That is something to talk about when you're discussing the meta, is when there's a deck that is that powerful and a lot of people are bringing it, you then get more comfortable bringing the deck that beats that deck.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're going to be able to, like, look, if I'm facing somewhere that has 35% of the meta is this deck, and I know a deck that can beat it, well over half the time, I'm bringing that deck.
Yep. And you will get players that are just like, I'll lose to other decks, but I just don't want to lose to the deck.
Right.
And
then never see that deck all day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
And then the last thing that stood out for me for the weekend was quite frankly just how diverse it was. Like, I know that we talked about kind of the highs of one deck and the lows of another, but it was really spread out. Yes, I know that there was what was there 2 or 3 purple steel on top 8, but I'm just talking about, again, like through the day 2 and top 32, it was really diverse. So for all the chicken littles that the sky's been falling on, I think just check a little bit on the data and recognize that this meta isn't quite as bad. I
There was
feel
even
like so many people that aren't doing well are the ones that think that the meta is bad. It's like, I can't win. I don't like this meta, and I'm not correlating those two things.
Yeah, there was even an Emerald Steel in the top 8.
Right?
Yeah. So pretty good. Amethyst Steel was definitely the one that took the biggest chunk of the top 8, but didn't convert in the end. But it made it. It made it, but it didn't convert.
Yep. All right. So now it's time for me to check out for a little bit, so you guys can talk about set gems.
Benny, how many did you go to?
I've been to 2.
Same.
I was set to go to 2 this last weekend, and they decided to change it from Sunday to 2 weeks later for some reason. I was also told by somebody locally that, oh yeah, they said they were changing it to 2 weeks later because somebody not local called and said, hey, I can't make it to that one. And they said, no problem, we'll change the date for you guys.
Wasn't
But
me.
The best part is I am local and now I can't make it to the new date. Thanks.
Man, that's lame. Yeah, we actually
So,
had one scheduled for the weekend of Milwaukee, and
hmm,
that at my main store, and they moved that one a week ahead because there would be multiple people that would be heading to Milwaukee, so they wanted to give them a chance to still play at the set champs.
that's next week, isn't it?
It's coming. Yeah,
I
it's
wonder
a
if
week.
that's the real reason the person called and said they couldn't make it. Like, you already pre-registered and now you're gonna, oh, I can't make it. I'm starting to catch
No,
on
they moved
here.
it. They moved it to the weekend of Milwaukee. If they moved it
Yeah,
in
They
2
moved it
weeks.
2 weeks, so they moved
but
it
I'm
to
saying
Milwaukee.
they're getting rid of some of their competition.
Oh,
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Because I
Play the
definitely went.
game.
I definitely went. This is Sunday Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah, I'm going. I'll go to that one. There's gonna be less people. They're gonna be all at family dinners. Not this guy.
It's crazy here in SoCal. We have so many stores, but if you look at the list of ones that are available on Milwaukee weekend, it's like 2 a day. And that's it. And on all the other days, there's anywhere from like 5 to 15 every single day during the rest of the month. It's crazy. But anyway, how'd you do, Benny? You went to 2?
Yeah, first one. First game I was against Blurple playing my Amber Steel aggro. Um, Kind of flopped out. Didn't didn't really think about it. Didn't really play enough that I find that like one thing I need to do is probably play like 2 or 3 games quick online or something so I can kind of get in the headspace of playing and kind of remember my play lines. Because if I don't, then I feel like kind of blank. Because first game I lost, second game I won, and then the next game I played another aggro player, beat them, and I was like, we're off to the races. We're doing great here. And then I had to play my friend who plays blue steel or sapphire steel, and that's not fun. I had the game in the bag.
Sapphire Steel.
I had the game in the bag, and he top decked a Vincenzo
No.
and just ruined my whole day. So then the next game was kind of, I'm not in top 8, so there's not really a point in playing. So I just kind of played for funsies. But then the next one I went to, I was going to build a completely different deck. I thought about going Amethyst Steel, borrowed some Dumbos for it. Thought this is going to be my next big genius idea. Shout out to EA for keeping me awake until 4 in the morning playing the new Battlefield 6. And I slept for about 3 or 4 hours, went to set champs with my Amber Steel deck. Proceeded to 2-0 a Blurple my first game, 2-1 a Amber Sapphire aggro, 2-1 a Blurple, and then the fourth game, I said, "Do you want to play?" And he's like, "Oh, I was just wondering if I ID if I make it into top." I said, "Oh, do you want to ID?" And he goes, "Well," and he looks and he goes, "I don't think I make it." And then he goes, "Well, if they play, one of them has to lose, one of them has to lose, which will give me
That's how
7
that works.
points." Yeah. And he goes, "Which will give me 7, so I'll make it." And I go, "Okay, so you'll just barely creep in and I'll still have to play you in the next round anyways." And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Okay, well, I'm fine with IDing now." And what ended up happening was the person we thought was going to get in got beaten by one of my buddies. So she did not get in. Instead, his wife, who was another person who could potentially get in, lost to my other buddy. And she ended up getting fourth place, which was the Amber Sapphire deck I played in round 2. And the Blurple that my buddy was playing ended up having to play Amethyst Steel deck, which the Amethyst Steel guy was like, no, I wanted the matchup of the aggro. No. And so we go into the top cut. My Blurple friend, Jeremiah, shout out Jeremiah, you rap scallion, ends up beating the Amethyst Steel player. And I go, this is perfect. I just won my Amber Sapphire game 2-0. So we're in the finals. Awesome. It's either me or my buddy walking out with this playmat. And because I had the better record, I got to choose who goes first. Of course, as an aggro player, you're going to choose yourself. Only to draw 2 Auroras, a Cinderella, a Strength of a Raging Fire, and some other cards that were just completely useless to me at that exact. I think, yeah, just I can't even
Cinderella.
remember
What
now.
Cinderella were you playing?
Not Cinderella, Snow White. Snow White. Sorry.
The forecast?
Yeah, can't be challenged. Can't be challenged.
You are correct. It can't be challenged.
And if they've already blurpled some of your other stuff with Into the Unknown, then you just got a Snow White that's sitting there that they can't do anything.
Yeah.
Except they can move damage. So
80s or moving damage or
yeah, I know. I've modified my deck since, okay? But it also helps with other decks, like the challenge decks. Anyways, so I'm sitting there going,
you should
okay,
have just
well,
offered to cut the mat in half.
actually what I said was, yeah, we don't have to play this game because he said, oh, aggro beats Blurple every time. And I said, well, if you want, we don't have to play. I'll just take the mat, and you know what? I'll even take you out for dinner. And then he goes, no, I'm good. And I went, ah, crap.
Oh man, almost got away with it.
So we end up playing, and I end up mulliganing and getting absolute
Just
garbage.
brick. Yeah.
And from there, I was at, I think, 18 lore before he completely shut me down and ended the game.
Right. On to
And
play with aggro and you still bricked.
yep. And then I ended up bricking again.
That's rough.
So here's the thing: 2 games, not a single dock was seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
it felt really bad, and people are like, "Oh, well, you got to stick with that deck in all the other ones." And I said, "No, no, 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 no. I don't have to stick with that deck."
Benny doesn't stick with decks.
One, I'm now known as the aggro player. Bleh. 2, if I go to any set champs and people
Filthy
see me
aggro
there,
player.
then what's going to happen is people who bring multiple decks are going to go, oh, well, I'm just going to play whatever's good against aggro in case I get matched up against him. Or they'll have their 2 decks ready to go. They're going to look at the thing and it says, oh, I play Benny. And since nobody really makes you put in a deck list, they're just going to grab the deck.
That's quite the accusation. All right, let's hear about James's session.
Hey, it's a first round win. You would want it. Heath would be the guy that does it. He goes, that's quite the accusation. He's like, I'm up against Benny.
I would do that
this is going to make great content.
Do that after we'd started the tournament.
I did too as well. Last weekend, I went to Kingslayer, the store I go to, but their other location. 30, was it 31 or 32 players?
Nice.
And I brought Amethyst Steel, a bit of a mix of a bunch of different builds, but because I only have one Dumbo, I put in other draw like Dolores and Yzma. So, which is fine because they're 3/3 2 lore questers. So at least, you know, they help you take out things or can get you some good lore in addition to the draw. I didn't do that well. I did 50-50 against the 2 Blurples I played, so that was what I was aiming for, was 50-50 against Blurple and hopefully beating everything else, because
and hopefully not seeing Blurple.
Emerald Sapphire, yeah, that too. Emerald Sapphire, I know I can beat that. Aggros, I know I can beat that. But I was 50-50 against Blurple, and what did I face? What else did I face that day? I think I faced a Emerald Sapphire, and I think they beat me because I just could not find any draw, and they were just winning. But my final, I was 2-2 going into the 5th round, and I wasn't gonna make the top cut at all. They had ID'd into where it was impossible for a 3-2, I think, to do it. But I sit down and I'm facing what I find out is an Emerald Steel list, and it's the aggro Chromicon list. And I had put a Benja into my deck earlier in the week and took it back out. But in the 3rd game, she had 3 Chromicons out.
Oh.
You shall not be banishing any of my characters.
So I was like, I'm gonna try. As soon as I saw this, I'm like, I'm gonna try and just play out as many characters as I can, and just try and out aggro her, and choose the very specific times to challenge the most dangerous cards she puts out. and it worked. A little bit in game 1, but she won that game. I was fine in game 2 where I was going first and was just able to just overpower from the beginning. But in the third game, it was just like this slow descent into madness as more and more Chromicons just kept getting put on the table. And I'm like, whatever. So, but the whole day is fine. You know, I went 2 and 3, whatever. But the craziest thing about the day though was I only won 1 dice roll. So I lost 4 dice rolls. And of those 4 dice rolls, all 4, they rolled 11s to beat me. It's like, what are the odds? 4 times rolling 11. It's like, wow. So that was my weird takeaway from that event. Then the next day I went to another shop. It's a shop I had played at previously over the course, like especially earlier, a place called Psycho Turtle. So I showed up there. It was a 24-player event. And again, faced 2 blurples first 2 rounds, but this time I beat them both instead of going 50-50. And the guy I faced in the second round, and I ended up facing in the top 8. I made top 8 on 3-1-1 record.
Nice.
I lost to an Emerald Sapphire in round 3. I beat a Ruby Amethyst in round 4, and then was able to intentionally draw into the top 8. As the 4th seed. So I was able to go first against the blurple player. And then he proceeded to always find his second star, including twice in the second game, and demolished me despite going second both games. So he found all his ramp, he found all his draw, and I had nothing. There was nothing I could do. The games were over. We finished our games in like 20 minutes. It was crazy. But I got my card, I got my promo, and the store was completely sold out of Fabled. So we ended up with prizing as Azurite C. I got a couple packs, and I got 3 legendaries out of 2 packs. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm like, whatever. But yeah, the Ruby Amethyst was almost sad to sit across from, because he didn't see any of his cards he needed on the right turns. And I was watching him play in round 5 later to get to do his win and in, and his deck was just like purring like a machine. But against me, it did nothing. He had like multiple cards out. He was you know, singing the songs and moving the damage and just doing all the things he wanted to do. And it was fun to watch, but it's like a good thing he didn't do that to me. But no, it was a fun event, and I got 2 more coming up this weekend, and we'll see if I can grab another card and maybe even a playmat.
Get that mat.
I had
it's so sick.
I had 2 more coming up this weekend, and then my wife said, if you want to keep playing as much as you have been, you need to dial it back. And I said, I'll do 1 this weekend, 1 next weekend.
I've only ever done 1 per weekend. I've never been so brazen as to do 2 in a weekend, but I'm going to have to this time around because I only get the last weekend.
Yeah.
Oh.
I did, as you say, that I asked my wife, or I told my wife.
Yeah.
She's sitting right over there.
Sure you did.
And that was like months ago when we first saw the Maleficent card. I'm like, okay, when this one comes out in a few months, I'm going to be doing multiple set champs, because usually I do max 2 for the entire month. But I'm like, I'm going to be doing more than 2. So
I said the same thing.
Oh, if I was home, I'd be doing every single one until I got mad.
Yeah.
All
right.
That was my plan. And then Jeremiah ruined it.
Jeremiah.
How dare you?
You know what he did? You know what he did the second game?
It wasn't his fault you bricked. I mean,
I was coming back.
So
I was coming back, right? I was like, I got this. I'm going to come back. Here we go. You know what he did? He sung together second star. And the first card he draws from the 5 is another second star.
When you draw 5 cards,
it's a good chance you're going to see some good cards in those 5 cards.
And you know what? When I play him, my Daisy never hits an action. Any other blurple I play, it always hits into the unknown or any other action. Ah.
Yeah. Well.
Don't mess with the gingers, man.
Look at my hair. I'm losing sleep over it. I just it's all over the place.
Before he falls asleep, we got to get to
the cards.
Whispers in the Well.
It's reveal season.
Let's go, baby.
And with 200 and now we know 2, not 204, but 202 all new cards because we found today 2 reprints. And I actually like the 2 reprints. For the record, they are Dragonfire, which is cool. Removal's back in one
limited
form. And Detective Mickey is reprinted, and both of them have all new art, which is very cool. I love both of the arts on those things.
Yes.
The Detective Mickey is going to make Brave Little Prince workable now because you can play a Sapphire. It's going to make him workable. It's come on, questing for what? He's going to be questing for 4 on turn 4. I think he's going to work.
And he's evasive.
And he's evasive.
It's okay.
What's on turn 4 that's taking him out?
The rest of the deck needs to function too. Is the problem?
Trust me, it's going to function. They got a lot of tools this time.
We'll see.
All right. Okay. We're going to talk about all the legendaries revealed so far. 7 of them have been revealed. The first one is in Amber. It is the Black Cauldron item. It's a 3-cost uninkable with 2 abilities. The Cauldron calls, exert, spend 1 ink, put a character card from your discard under this face up, and rise and join me. Exert, spend 1 ink. This turn, you may play characters from under this item. So if you were watching, Heath did a thumbs down as I was talking. So I'm guessing that he thinks that this is not a good card.
He thinks that this is currently not a good card. Who knows what the future holds?
Whoa. Hear me out. Hear me out.
This is way too slow.
Get it out. And then your daisies are dead. You bring them back and play them again.
For 5. For 5 for the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the
only way that that this works, and the problem with this is that how do you get cards under there for cheap, for not having to spend the 1 ink and the exert to do it? That's what makes this card work, because being able to spend 1 ink and exert to play whatever other characters you have, because it's not limited to 1 character per turn, it's limited to how much ink you have.
Well, except you've got to exert for the first ability, right?
No, well, yeah, you can't do it on the same turn. But
correct.
On the turn where you exert to play characters, if there's 3 characters under here and you have enough ink to pay for them all, you can play all 3.
My problem is that you have to exert for the first ability. I think this might be usable if you didn't have to exert for the first ability. If you could just run 3 ink and get 3 characters, and then the next turn exert it and play all 3. Maybe, but even then it's still too slow. But at least that would be somewhat viable.
I don't hate it for like Amber Sapphire aggro.
You would rather any character.
Yeah.
Any character than this.
I think this has to be something that it's going to have to be mostly like a build around, and like you said, it's just a slow card. It just takes too many turns to get it working.
This is only the 2nd legendary item, correct? Other than Lucky Dime?
I think so. Yeah.
I understand them making the Black Cauldron a legendary item, but this is not it when it comes to a legendary item.
So
I think it's actually going to be one of the cheapest legendaries around for a while.
Yeah.
Sorry to all the Black Cauldron fans.
It's interesting to me how all of the smoke is green and is leaking into the ink in the middle there.
Visually, it's cool.
Visually, but it's like, was this supposed to be a dual ink card?
Or maybe it was supposed to be an emerald card.
Maybe.
I will say one thing, and I'm probably going to catch some flack for it, but just like the movie, The Black Cauldron, this card is no good.
Oh, you're gonna get the flack from some people.
There's
Sword
gonna
in
be
the Stone is better. Sword in the Stone is better. Ha 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 ha.
Wow. Backing off from that. Okay, that email that you want to send that to is Benny Overexerted at ihaveahot.com.
If you want to email me or send me a message with your hot takes, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, or X.
Burn him on Twitter. All right, let's keep going.
Amethyst, who gets to read all of these?
Oh,
I'll
it's too small for me. So
all right, I'll do it.
I
I'll
know
read.
what they say, but I can't read
Yeah.
it word for word.
We got both Amethyst legendaries. Demona is the first one, a 6-cost inkable 5/6 with 2 lore and 2 abilities. Add Saxum Comatate. When you play this character, exert all opposing characters. Then each player with fewer than 3 cards in their hand draws until they have 3. And the Stone by Day ability, which is on all gargoyles. If you have 3 or more cards in your hand, this character can't ready. So this is a powerful card. Being able to exert all characters, very good.
Yep.
Drawing cards, very good.
Mhm.
If you're playing an opponent that is playing nothing but gargoyles, this card is amazing.
Yeah.
If she, the turn that she's played, she instantly is exerted, essentially.
She doesn't exert.
All opposing characters.
All opposing.
Yeah. So
You have
compare
3,
her to the
but it's
7-cost uninkable Anna.
no. I'm saying because it says each player with fewer than 3 cards in their hand draws until they have 3. So even if you drew on your turn and you only had her left in hand, you have just her, you play her, you draw 3, you're going to now have to exert her because of her Stone by Day.
No, you don't have to exert her. It's just if she is exerted, she can't ready.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So you get to use the
Sleeping
use of her on the next turn when she's dry. You do get to use her for whatever, you singing a song, challenging, questing, and then you have the chance to be able to get rid of those 3 cards you may have drawn off of her ability.
2, right? You'll be up to 4.
You just need to get down to 2 cards in hand.
Yeah.
I do like that this card is also, though, counterproductive to the current Blurple in the fact that
Blurple wants to have a lot of cards in hand, and this is like you're not going to be able to use all of those gargoyles that may be fairly powerful in a Blurple deck.
Yeah. All right. Hades, okay. I know.
Hades, 5-cost, inkable, 3/4 with 1 lore. What do you say? When you play this character, you may choose an opposing character. If you do, draw 2 cards unless that character's player puts that card on the bottom of their deck. So it's either draw or removal, which seems good.
The problem I have with this is your opponent gets to choose, and inevitably that means that you always get the worst of the 2.
But is drawing or removing, is that a bad choice?
No.
So here's the thing. If they have a character that's weak enough that is their best character, that they would rather have that go to the bottom, which is to say, hey, their best character is worse than drawing 2 cards, that's a good position to be in. That means you're winning. So really the worst case scenario is you draw 2 cards.
Right.
So 5 cost for 3/4, 1 lore, draw 2 cards is basically how you should read this, as like the worst case scenario. That's not too bad, but it's not like crazy either.
Right.
Yeah. When I first saw this, I said, not that great. And then I said, oh, wait, Blurple. That's right. We all hate Hades already. Let's double hate Hades now.
Yeah. No, I like this card. I have seen people saying that it's not really all that powerful because of the choice that you're giving them, and they're going to pick the best choice for them. But on the flip side of, if they want to keep their character, then they give you cards, and those cards may be something that then allows you to continue to increase your presence on the board or whatever it may be. So in Blurple, when you're sitting there at 10, 12 ink anyway, you can play this to start off with, and if they give you 2 more cards without removing a card, guess what? You may draw into more of your removal.
No.
Do you see these 2 in the same deck? I don't think so, though.
No, because it's one is kind of connected together. So the thing that strikes me is that, again, probably the worst case scenario is you draw 2. So you got a 3/4 body left behind, draw 2. I'm comparing that to Genie, which is, it costs 1 less. It's a 2/4, 2 lore, evasive, draw 1. I would probably rather that, but this is inkable, so you got to keep that in mind. And with how many uninkables that you usually want to play, having an inkable that you actually want to play is a pretty good place to be as well. So I think overall, I don't think it's going to be overpowered, but I think it's going to be very good. So I would say that will definitely see play. It's just a matter of to what degree, whether it's a 4 of, or maybe it's more a 2 or 3.
Right.
And
All
for
right.
what it's worth, it's the iconic.
The bottom here,
One of the
I'm
two.
kind of on a schedule here. I got plans for August. Hades confirmed villain for
Now-
set 16.
let me counter that with in the other languages. One of the other languages says December, and another language says something entirely different. So
Outrage.
yeah,
They do
Inconsistencies
know
of flavor.
they do know that August, December, or whatever other month you have other languages that can say
Well,
those months, right?
notice the divider line is a book. That means it's an actual quote. So
Mhm,
that
mhm.
means it's when it's pulled from the translations in other things, that is the translation in that language was like Christmas or the holidays or something like that.
Mhm.
So maybe it was December, but
Their
anyway,
summer.
it's not August on all versions of the card. So
Okay.
I would say that this does not say anything. I think that they are continuing to feed Hades as a big bad, but he will not be a big bad for years. I think that we're going to get other villains first. And I think based on some of the things we've seen in current art and future set art, I think it's possible that it's going to be Maleficent. Because
this set?
for this coming year, this year's worth of cards leading into next summer's Lumineer's Quest, because there's a lot of vines with thorns on them showing up in a lot of art. So,
in the background of all these.
Yeah, and there's a lot of she's all about the vines, making the vines grow, and thorny vines everywhere. So I think it's possible it's Maleficent. The other one is, even if you look at we talked about this a little bit last night, on the inscrutable map, the trident symbol is there, and Magica still has the trident, so she may be doing something as well, because she's still out there doing things, being evil with a trident. All right, moving on. We have both Sapphire legendaries, and
Benny's
both of
been
these, I
aching to
think,
talk about this.
I think we can say that both of these are very good.
All right, Benny, you've been aching to talk about these. You go ahead.
All right. So first up, we have Daisy, the 6-cost inkable. Now, originally, I thought, hey, you throw this in Amber Sapphire, you got the Shift Daisy.
Are you gonna finish reading what the card?
Anyways, 6-cost inkable, 4 strength, 6 willpower, quest for 2 lore, shift for 4, with support, as well as strange happenings. While this character is exerted, cards enter opponent's inkwells exerted.
Yeah, this card is really good. It's a 4/6 body with 2 lore, entering the field on turn 4 with shift, turn 3 if you've ramped and are able to have a shift target, and immediately able to lock down your opponent to being 1 turn behind on ink. And if you've ramped and your opponent is not playing ramp also, you are now so far ahead in ink. It is not even funny. Yeah.
If you're on the play doing
this is a crazy card.
Like, that's your turn 3. They have 2. Yeah, like, go ahead and play another 2-cost.
4/6 2 lore in play.
And following Heath's suggestion, they have made a playable card, the set champs card for this set. This Daisy, the alternate art version, is going to be the set champs card.
Oh, that's confirmed already?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dang, I missed that already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look in the app, I think they may show it, but if not, I will show it to you. Actually, I'll pull it up in a minute.
Okay. That'll be in January, right? Make sure I block up my January weekends.
February. Should be February.
Well, no, February 13th is when the set comes out.
Okay, so yeah, it'll be January. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
It's crazy, right?
Benny, so other than the obvious, is there any other lines that you're seeing other than the one that we discussed? Like, what's getting you excited about this?
I'm kind of considering that. I'm kind of considering right now in my head because I'm thinking Baja Blast is what I'm kind of interested in here.
Okay.
But then I'm like, what Daisy am I gonna be playing in Baja Blast?
What other one drop daisies are there? Is there just the amber?
I'd have to have a look.
I think
I
that's
know
it. The
in
other one drop daisy that got rotated out was the one drop 1/3 in amber.
yeah. Wasn't there
Well,
wasn't there an emerald?
There's the
Low
emerald
cost
one
daisy?
that when it quests you discard.
Yeah.
You can force a discard, and there's another amber one that is discard on play.
mhm.
But wasn't there was it Daisy that was revealed? There was a 1-cost 1/2 duck that gives +1 strength.
I don't think that was
This
Daisy.
set,
I
like
don't think
10,
that was Daisy.
set 10, it was revealed.
I
Mm.
don't
I know
think
it's a
it
duck,
was.
but
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
think it was
which
one
duck
of
it
the
is.
DuckTales ducks.
Yeah.
I know there's a
Daisies and
Donald in
ducktail-
green that
and
would
the
work
DuckTales.
great, but
Yeah.
bloody heck. Then the next card we have is a 4-cost uninkable Cinderella, 2 strength, 3 willpower with the ability whatever you wish for. At the end of your turn, if you played a princess character this turn, you may put a card from your hand into your inkwell face down to draw a card. Now, the fun thing about this is it says at the end of your turn, if you played a princess, Cinderella being a princess
He sure
immediately
is.
triggers that effect.
Yeah.
Ah, boy. So, yeah. So, turn 4 or turn 3, if you've ramped, uh, you now get to just play this Cinderella and go, oh, I end my turn and now I'm up to 5 ink. And I
Yeah.
get to draw a card. I've had 2. So, when I had these originally in my head, I thought, well, yeah, you play the 1-cost Aurora that makes it cheaper to play Cinderella, and then you ramp, and then you get to play Cinderella for dirt cheap and go from there. But then I had something brought to my attention that I like a whole lot more as a previous villain.
Oh gosh.
The the Baja Blast, where you play Basil, shift Basil on ramp, shift Basil, play this Cinderella, and just make your opponent have to just discard cards every time you just keep throwing down princesses and ramping and
But just so
inking.
because people aren't psychic, you're referring to the Basil that when you ink, you can pay an ink
Yes,
to
I assume that
to
everyone
discard.
knows all the cards in this game. We've been playing for
Well,
so
no, the cards that are in your head is the problem because there's a much more prevalent Basil that's out there right now, which is the 7-drop that bounces. So
yes,
this is
yes.
the specifically the one that you can shift for 4, and is what, a 4/5/2 lore, I think. And when you put an ink into your inkwell, you can pay 1 to make your opponent discard.
Mhm.
So
So we'll have to find out from the rules people if if you can pay for something during your end of turn phase.
yeah. So shout out to Quigley, to Lorcana Pandemonium, for dropping that little nugget in Twitter, that little bomb.
She's just going
Iconic
to be
bomb.
powerful.
Yes.
No matter what little tricky combos you're able to pull off, just on the face of it, she's going to be powerful. And then we had we didn't pull it in here, but we had an item revealed today that is going to enable her to be even more powerful.
Yeah. 2-cost inkable. When you ink, you can give a princess ward
Yeah.
until the start of your next
You
turn.
can give a princess character ward, so it doesn't even have to be this Cinderella. But why wouldn't you ink and ward her so she can do it again?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Enchanted Kim is so thrilled that there might finally be competitive princesses.
Right.
Like a princess deck.
A
Well, I
princess
also
deck
just-
should be.
There have been princesses that have been competitive, but the
I
princess
also
deck.
just I also just like it because I had somebody say, "Yeah, but how easy is it going to be to hit Cinderella, Basil, and Ramp all in the same turn to be able to pull that off?" And it's actually you don't have to hit Cinderella, Basil, and Ramp because Basil's a 6 cost. He can sing down in New Orleans and just let you search for that
Just
Cinderella.
let's just put those layers, the combo layers, just make them even further in deep in the
Right.
layers,
Let's
right?
just
No,
let's
I'm
just
just
dig
saying there's
deeper with the
you got
fantasy land.
I'm just saying you got options. You got options. You don't need to
Well,
have
the thing is
everything.
that's like a high roll with the Basil. You don't have like presumably that's not the only thing your deck can do.
Yeah.
So
I
Here's
mean
the set.
to ruin it even more, there's a card I got coming up here that Basil can also sing. So
Here's the set champs version of the Daisy card.
nice.
she looks evil.
She's definitely serious about something, but yeah, this is a very nice looking card.
I can't see it, but I'll
She
take your
almost
word
looks
for
like
it.
Magica.
A little bit, yeah.
Like that glare she's got going on.
Mm. I mean, she is evil, but look at that ability. But yeah.
All right, what do we got next? Oh, we got both steel
Oh,
legendaries. All right,
Goliath, man.
here we go. Goliath, clan leader, 6 cost, inkable, 6/5 with 2 lore. And of course, it has the Stone by Day ability, but its main ability is Dusk to Dawn. At the end of each player's turn, if they have more than 2 cards in their hand, they choose and discard cards until they have 2. If they have fewer than 2 cards in hand, they draw until they have 2.
Hey,
That
opponent,
means,
how many cards you got in hand? 8?
guess what? But the thing
Discard
is
6 of them, please.
this is you also.
Yeah. But you get to draw up to 2. This is like Beyond the Horizon on a stick.
It's and repeatable every turn.
Yeah.
Guess what? You better get rid of your cards or this is just going to take them.
Yeah. So really solid costed body with potentially a just busted ability.
Do you
And
think
then once
this
you've got them down, to 2, you just swing into their biggest body and take him out, and they still only have 2 cards.
do you think this is best in a Sapphire Steel
No.
or just any steel deck?
Where would I mean, we haven't seen the majority of the set yet. So
Right.
based on the knowledge that we have now, I would probably see this in I don't know, maybe Amethyst Steel because, especially with the giant cobras and things like that, getting down to minimal amount of cards, being more aggressive with it. Like basically this strikes me as a more aggressive build, right? You want to constantly be emptying your hand so that you can draw up to 2, and you want to combat more end game decks that would have lots of cards in hand, making them discard down to 2.
So this one probably works really well with being able to keep the 3 discard or draw cards, Dock, Desperate Plan, and Beyond the Horizon. That probably makes those 3 pretty valuable to be used with this because you can keep one of those in hand, and then at the end of your turn, you draw up, gives you something when you draw up to 3 cards now. Well, on your next turn, you can ink, play, and then again play to draw 2 more and maybe have some more stuff to play. So you're continually recycling in to get more cards in hand to have into play. And even if you have to discard, at least you're cycling through and getting all the cards you really want to play faster.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the biggest thing is just make your opponent discard down to 2.
Yeah.
Like, forget all the other advantages. Just making your opponent discard down to 2 with, because we've had abilities like that before, but that's it, right? They just discard and okay, well, but I haven't affected the board. Well, this gives me a 6/5 2-lore body and makes you discard a whole bunch of cards. Like, I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
all this discard, I just have one thing to say.
Where's Prince John?
Bring back Prince John, please.
No.
Yes.
No.
Look at what happened.
Look.
They get rid of Prince John, and then what happens? Some random blurple starts dominating the no.
Unbelievable.
Prince Charming sucks.
But I also think that if this was a little bit cheaper, it would have been so good in Amber Steel. Just
Yeah, it would've.
constantly having the free docks.
All right, so we're moving on to Prince Charming. 7 cost, inkable, 310, 2 lore with bodyguard, and the ability protective presence. Each turn, only one character can challenge. This
What
is
decks did it fit
definitely,
in?
if it's going to be used, it's going to be used in some kind of aggro deck, right?
Aggro deck's never getting to 7 ink. That's why I
But
said, what is this being used in?
Yeah. That's the
The
problem.
deck that wants an effect like this will never get to 7.
Sapphire Steel.
Or just can't reliably get to 7.
Sapphire Steel, yeah, because they want to get up to 7 so they can play their Vincenzos and things.
The problem is half the time this is likely to punish you as help you.
Right, because that deck wants to challenge also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
you know what?
I don't know. I mean, what
I'm not
about
saying
a
that
Circle of Life
I
deck?
don't see a world where it could be of interest, but I just feel like it's probably going to be garbage.
I mean, I would love to see someone play this, but I'd also love to laugh after someone plays this and Monstro hits the field. You said only one character can challenge. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
That's true. It
Yeah.
does say only one character can challenge. Doesn't say how many times.
Monstro can do
and
whatever
speaking of
Monstro wants.
only one character can challenge, with one of the next cards we're going to look at in a little bit, that one is going to allow for multiple challenging by one character as well. So, all right.
I feel like the designers didn't intend it that way, but anyways, we'll see. We'll see what the rules people
for the
say.
multiple challenges?
Yeah, multiple challenges by the same
It's
character.
only one character can challenge. They did not limit.
Oh, but yes, because Lorcana historically has always been super logical with the way it writes cards.
Absolutely, 100%. All right, I'm going to talk about this card. We all picked a card to talk about that we liked out of the reveal so far. I am going to talk about the 6-cost inkable Scrooge McDuck Cavern Prospector with 4 strength and 7 willpower and 2 lore. Shifts on 4 with the ability Speculation. Whenever you play a character or location with boost, you may put the top card of your deck face down under them. So this card basically lets you boost a character for free every time you play it, which I think if we get some really good boost characters like, I don't know, perfectly on curve on the next turn, your Simba, 7-cost Simba that with a character when it's boosted.
I was gonna say, I feel like we should have let you cheat and pick 2 cards because those 2 really go hand in hand.
Yeah, that Simba is very good because then you can maybe get out 2 cards on that turn.
So for those that don't know, don't worry too much about these stats of Simba, but he's a 7-cost character. But what does the boost do?
The boost is when you put a card under this character, you may look at the top card of your deck. If it's a character, you may play it for free exerted.
Yeah, it's the Mufasa ability, basically, from the 5-cost Mufasa. So normally it's 3 ink to boost it, but this lets you boost it for free. So you get a 7-cost, so it's a decent body. I can't remember what it is, but it doesn't really matter. It's a decent body, it's 7-cost, and then you would get to boost it for free and potentially get a character out for free.
Yeah.
And they're both in amber, so it doesn't limit the second color. You could be amber ruby again and try and get those Maleficent dragons out.
He's got a decent... Yeah, he's a 5/5, 3 lore.
There you go.
Very good. Very, very good. So that's why I wanted to talk about it, because I think that if the boost mechanic is going to be good, I think that this card is going to be the one that enables it to be even better.
Yeah. We don't really have a good shift target for it, though, yet, right? Like, we don't really have a good cheap Scrooge McDuck yet.
I think we're going to get like a 1... I think we'll get a 1-drop or a 2-drop this set.
Okay.
I think. We'll see. Whose is this? This is Heath's, isn't it?
More DuckTales. All right, Benny, sing it.
Might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales.
Woo!
So this is the 4-cost inkable song. Look at the top 4 cards of your library deck, whatever. Sorry, I'm still in magic mode after 2 years. You may reveal up to one character card, up to one item card, and put those into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is effectively the Sapphire friends on the other side. Except you get to pick out of 4. Yes, you've got to have both a character and item in there, so it's not always going to work for you. But specifically, I wanted to highlight this for Infinity. Yes, it's possible that there might find a space for this in Core Constructed, but really this is really interesting in Infinity, especially when we've got Scrooge McDuck in there, your free 4 cost with your items, who will perfectly be able to sing this and on theme, might I add. So yeah, I think really fascinating to see what this does, what kind of damage this does in Infinity.
Yeah, because you can get your Tamatoa in your item, you can get your Scrooge in your item, you can get your Bell 3-drop in your item to where you can play it for free and have the item in the discard for your Tamatoa later on to pull back out. Lots of synergy going on with this card.
Yep. And sometimes even if you're just digging for one of those two, yes, obviously you want to hit the 2 every time. But there's times where it's like, hey, even just digging for that Tamatoa, or something else. There were times where in that, especially in the mirror match, just finding the popsicle was massive. Like the popsicle wars, whoever got their popsicles first won that mirror match. So I wouldn't be surprised if even just this digging for a popsicle might not be strong.
The popsicle wars.
Yeah.
Popsicle wars of 24.
Yeah.
Grandpa, what was Lorcana like back in 2024? Oh, the great popsicle wars of 2024. Oh, let me tell you.
I know it's been a long year, but it was actually 2025.
Yeah, whatever. In the past.
It was Arcasia's Island where that really
pre-rotation, whatever.
With the crab. Anyways,
all right, let's go to Benny's card.
With the December, I was gonna say, especially with the December Infinity event coming up that we can all participate in, because I know not all of us are gonna be thinking about Infinity for DLC next year, but in December.
That's true. Now, luckily for the Infinity event that's coming up on Infinity Weekend to get the whole new world promo, it's going to be a participation promo from what we understand, not a win it promo. So
must win.
But we still must play well.
Presumably there's going to be something for winning, right?
Maybe. We'll see.
We just all show
a firm handshake and a thank you.
All right. We need to contact our local stores. Be like, we need to just schedule them like an hour and a half apart. So
yeah.
we can just go from
one to the next.
Just 4.
You just need 4.
No, I
need 5. 5 when to put away.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
There you go.
Sorry.
All right. Let's go to Benny's.
All right, here it is. The beautiful song that I talked about. This is called Trust in Me. It is a 6 cost uninkable. So somebody can sing it for 6. With the 2 abilities, choose one. Each opposing character gets -1 lore until the start of your next turn, or each opponent chooses and discards 2 cards. Now, the reason why I love this is exactly what I said earlier. You got that shift Basil that you did the turn before. You throw down Cindy. You sing it with the Basil, and they go, "Oh, that stinks. I got to lose 2 cards. Well, at least I'm losing these 2. They stink. Toss them out." Then the Cindy just makes them lose the rest of them. Convoluted.
I'm glad you're at least self-aware on that.
But I love it. I want more discard. I need more discard. Bring back the discard. Somebody said they figured out why I finally like playing discard. And they said, you just don't want your opponent to actually get to play anything. You just want to play the game solitaire style, and you just like watching people struggle with the top deck.
Men just want to watch the world burn.
And the answer to that is yes. When I used to play MTG, Magic the Gathering, I liked playing Mill. I just like watching you not play. I don't care if I win, as long as you don't get to play.
If you played Mill, you definitely didn't care about winning.
Yeah.
James is like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But
I know what Mill is, but and I know that we don't have it in
was a
Morcana
very
yet.
unviable strategy most of the existence of Magic the Gathering.
Good.
The cards around it have existed since the beginning.
Hey, I
Millstone
played
was
Mill
right there in the
Healing.
beginning,
I
but
played
the
Mill Healing, and it
strategy has
worked.
been non-viable for all of the existence.
Unbelievable.
No.
We all hate this card. It goes away.
Yeah. I'm just glad it's not Sing Together. I thought it was Sing Together, which would have been awful with Ursula in Infinity.
Yeah.
But,
Oh yes.
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
Let's talk about this card, because I think this card is going to be bringing back the Ruby. Specifically the Shark.
Shark's back, baby.
Next stop, Olympus. It's an action. It's 2 cost, inkable. There's those vines I was talking about in the art. And the ability, if you have a character with 5 strength or more in play, you pay 2 ink less to play this action.
Just say play it for free. Just say play it for free.
How much does it cost again? 2. How much does it reduce? 2. Yeah, 2 minus
Just
2
say
is
free!
0.
We literally said last set, stop putting free on a card, and then they're like, okay, we won't put free on a card. You pay 2 less to play this.
Now, the reason why it's 2 less is because there are cards like the Gantu that make you pay more to play the card.
Yes.
If you can still play it for free, it doesn't have the Gantu restriction.
Which I hate that. I hate that when something says you play it for free, it bypasses the additional cost on things. I think that's so illogical. But
so anyway, this has an ability besides being played for free. You can play it for free if it had nothing on it. Who cares? But it has an ability, ready chosen character. That's not all. That's pretty good, because that's what Fan the Flames did. They can't quest for the rest of this turn. Again, also what Fan the Flames did. But it adds some more. The next time they challenge another character this turn, gain 1 lore. Now people want to use this because if you have the Maui Shark, where you can retrieve actions, you can retrieve this card after it challenges, and you can do it again. And you're going to earn a lore on the challenge from the Shark, or from the Shark when challenging with this action, and a lore from playing this action to give it that ability.
No.
And then you got
the infinite combo.
Hope.
One last hope, yes. So unfortunately, if you now you can give lots of resist to your character, but you have to also give resist to your opponent's character you're challenging if you want to make this a 1-turn kill.
Sure, but with One Last Hope, I can challenge ready characters. I clear your board. I gain, especially if you got Mushu in the mix.
Yeah. Yes.
I gain all the lore. I clear your entire board. Do your worst.
Because with One Last Hope and Mushu, the character you're challenging has to have 5 strength or more to do any damage to you.
Yeah.
Because you have resist 4 at that point.
So you're telling me just make sure I make you discard these first. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, if you wanted to 1-turn kill and just earn 20 lore in 1 turn, you need this card, you need Maui Shark, and you need the ability to either give Maui Shark and 1 opposing character enough resist to where no one's taking any damage, or reduce all the strengths to 0, but then you still have to have another 5 strength character out to keep playing this card.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is like, genuinely, unless your opponent's winning before you get Maui Shark out and can challenge with it. So in other words, depending on what else you're doing, turn 7, right? Unless they're winning before that, you can do this every turn, because you keep challenging. The last challenge, you get One Last Hope back, so that you can challenge a ready character. And then no matter how many characters they play, you play One Last Hope, challenge the ready character, then you get back Next Stop Olympus, and then rinse and
keep
repeat.
cycling until you're on your last one, and then you get Last Hope back again.
Hope back, right?
Yeah.
So legitimately, at that point, they're locked out of the game character-wise. Yes, there are other ways to win the game other than characters, but they're locked out of the game character-wise as soon as you can pull this off.
So they have to be playing a color that has removal that will affect your shark.
Mhm.
And get it off the board and hope you don't have another one ready to bring into play.
Yep.
I hate this.
So
You
this
just play a good amount of removal so that you can survive to turn 7.
So does this card, does this lone card right here make Ruby Steel a viable deck?
I would want to have if we could have oh gosh, I've already forgotten. What's the item that gave rush?
Oh, yeah, it's in purple.
No. But there was the Ruby item that gave Challenger and Rush. If we had something like that back, like if we had means to give Rush.
Oh, we do. We have
Vitalosphere.
Yeah, Vitalosphere is gone, right?
Yeah.
But we do have the 3-cost Mushu.
Yeah, I mean that again. Now, that's more fragile.
But then you
right?
can shift the other Mushu onto it, and anything you play gets Rush and Reckless and evasive. So now you can rush on the turn you play the shark if you need to.
Does my Challenger resist Mushu? Does that one have shift?
It does not. It's just a 5-drop.
Okay. Anyways, I think this is definitely going to get it very close, right? Because you don't need the combo for something like Maui Shark to be good.
Right.
Same with Mushu. The problem with the Challenger decks has always been dealing with evasives. So the more evasive responses and removal that we can get in those colors, hopefully in this set. I mean, Dragonfire's in there, but I think there's definitely something there.
Yeah.
Which is why I just picked up 4 epic One Last Hopes.
And here I was hoping that Maui Shark would actually drop in price soon.
It did. That's
it
why
was. It had been down.
Ah, no! I hadn't been looking.
He's like, no. He's like,
Picked up a
gone.
bunch of foils.
He's like, I'm gonna go look now. That's hilarious.
Oh, what happened? What the heck?
Your video went away.
Oh.
I also ordered 2 of the Chinese DLC Dragonfires for like $12.
Nice. He's on a spending spree. He's like, yeah,
Right?
I want to play all the cool cards.
Yep.
And I still have the 4.
I'm so glad my wife doesn't watch these.
I still have all 4 of my Dragonfires from the DLCs.
I sold them and now I regret selling them. But
I think I was planning on selling 1, but we'll see. They haven't bought it yet, so maybe I'll tell them no. I want to play them.
So pretty.
Yeah. All right. That's it for cards.
Cool.
That we were planning to talk about. There was a lot of other cards. There's a lot of reveals.
I'm on the East Coast right now, so this is calling me.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it. Benny is a circle.
Me.
So, we did get late in the day. We did get that Frozen song that is also basically removal.
Oh yeah, that was with the Locana Goons.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
That looks pretty cool. Yeah, that was one of the ones that I considered listing as my one to talk about because that looks interesting. But I just wish you didn't have to move all of the damage counters from all characters.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Oh well, but in the Damage Matters deck, that's definitely a card to consider because you're going to be doing like the Mother Gothels that do damage to yours to do something.
Yep.
You know, this and that, definitely worth it.
Yep.
You still there, Benny?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here.
Benny's been mauled by Milo.
He's just gonna have to. Oh, we lost the circle. Now it's just a black screen.
The outro.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? We're gonna do the disembodied voice outro this time. Yep, we are.
Oh, come on!
Dead,
everybody. It even says it's working over here. What's going on now?
All right, thanks everybody for coming. You can find Benny at Overexerted Podcast wherever you can find podcasts, and on Twitter and Instagram and Discord.
There he is.
Hey, there he is.
Thank you guys for joining us, and on this magical journey. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and everywhere else. You can find YouTube, of course, and everywhere you listen to podcasts. You can also find James and his amazing reveal video that he let us be a part of.
Thank you guys for doing it with very little knowledge and lots of instructions.
I was like, do I have to film sideways or do I film straight up and down? Which one's gonna?
Yeah, I gave them instructions and like, just do this for me, and they didn't even know the card. It was hilarious.
It was killing me.
All right, and also be our guest, Heath. Heath will be doing, even though he is going to have very little time, he still will be doing his
Somehow.
limited videos with all of the ink costs going through it, and so be looking for that when you
Your
get
draft
ready
and
for your
sealed.
draft and sealed events coming up for Whispers in the Well, which is looking pretty fun. So I think that's it.
Yep.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Good night. Goodbye.